Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MDmedic Podcast. Today we're going to talk to you about adding value to your life. That is one of the tenets of being a high value man. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so this topic, I really felt it on my heart that I needed to talk about some of the habits and characteristics that men, especially young men who are ambitious, who are wide-eyed and excited to live life on their own and have dreams of making it somewhere. I really felt like people in that category really needed some guidance, really needed some steps that they can take to develop themselves into a high-value man. So one of the best ways to emulate someone is just to study their habits, right? High-value men are getting the results in their life that we want in ours. So first of all, what's a high-value man? A high-value man is a man that's financially competent, that has social status, a man that has frame in a relationship, and he's respected as a peer and a leader in every situation that he goes into, a man that knows his worth, a man that doesn't simp. So today, the habit of high-value men that we're going to talk about today that we need to all increase is seeking value in everything. So I'll get into it. What is the definition of value? So value is the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. So it could also mean the material or monetary worth of something. But as a man, you guys need to know that what you know, the knowledge that you possess, is what sets your value. So part of becoming a high value man is increasing your value of brain power, because your brain is the most powerful money generating, success generating machine that's out there. You need to make your brain into your personal money tree. So Robert Kiyosaki said this, and this is profound. He said that, simply put, the rich get rich and stay rich by obtaining assets, but the poor stay poor by buying liabilities. So what an asset is an asset is something that you can have, something that you can purchase, something that you can acquire, that puts more money in your pocket, that goes and recruits more money for you, that creates a net positive cash flow. A liability is the opposite, something that takes money out of your pocket. So you should make your brain an asset, a money creating asset. Your biggest asset, as I said before, is yourself and the intrinsic wealth creating powers you possess. Your mind should be your own personal money tree. That being said, things that make you smarter, stronger, and more capable of producing good wealth add to you and are assets that should be sought after. Things that waste your time and productivity with mindless entertaining are liabilities that only subtract value from you, from your time, and they slow the growth of your skill set. Another quote from M.J. DeMarco, author of Millionaire Fastlane: the poor value money and the rich value time. So, in order to make your time into something that's of value, use that time to add value to yourself by making yourself smarter. And here's some of the ways where you can constantly seek to add value to yourself. As I said before, replace mindless entertainment in every opportunity you can with something that adds value. So what is mindless entertainment? Mindless entertainment will be things that don't add value to you, that literally only entertain you. They don't make you better. So examples of this would be like TV dramas. Yes, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm telling you, you probably shouldn't spend your time watching that anymore. Football games on TV, video games, reality TV, pornography, things like that. These are mindless entertainment that do not add value to you. They actually end up taking up your time. And if you want to be rich, your time is an asset. Your time is valuable because your time can create money. So cut those things out of your life. Fix your brain so that what you find entertaining are things that add value. You don't need mindless entertainment. The Western world tells you that you have to be a hyper consumer of all kinds of media, entertainment, social media. That is not true. You don't need it. You just have to fix your brain so that what you find entertaining, what you find wholesome, what you find satisfying are things that add value to you. So an example of what I do is I listen to tons of podcasts, right? Kind of like my own podcast. Podcasts are both entertaining and they add value. So like the podcast that I listen to, we like Fresh and Fit podcast, right? They talk about making you rich, helping you get ladies, helping you understand how the world works, helping you get in shape, things like that that add value to you, actual value, and entertain me at the same time. I also listen to Patrick Bet-David, brilliant guy. He's on his way to being a billionaire. He knows so much about money, and his whole valuetainment network literally is just that. They're trying to entertain you with adding value. So all these things are available on YouTube and Spotify for absolutely free. So you can probably end up saving money by replacing your entertainment with value-added things because YouTube is free. Internet is free. So listen to a ton of audiobooks. I listen to Justin Waller. He's fantastic for advice about getting money, buying real estate, and just your journey as a man. From a teenage boy going all the way through your retirement. This man, you can relate to him. He's a real person who went through the struggles, and he's real funny and entertaining. Andrew Tate, of course. Tate Speech, right? Free Top G. Free Tristan. So this guy, Andrew Tate, as controversial as he is probably unmatched in motivating you to be the best you can be, to get in shape, to change your mind, to look for opportunities to make money, to do all of these things. This is who I listen to. Right? I can also watch documentaries or, I'm a nerd because I'm in emergency medicine. I like emergency medicine, continuing education. But basically the gist is you can change your habits and preferences to things that add value if you're purposeful. And you'll start seeing your life change. Like you'll notice yourself becoming smarter, becoming more compendious, becoming more cunning, becoming a better tactician in whatever that you're going for, whether it's your business sphere, whether it's money, whether it's navigating the dating marketplace. Listen, look for things that add value. And here, I want to show you something. I know this sounds really bad. I know this sounds really difficult for a lot of people who have made habits of playing a bunch of video games, of watching mindless TV, of scrolling through TikTok for hours every day. But you can do it. It is very possible. So this psychological study that I'm pulling up on the screen right now, they basically did a test to see how people can form habits and how people can change their lifestyle and add beneficial things, skills, and habits to them. And they basically found that there was a large increase in habit strength over the course of 3 months, which is strongest for participants who consistently perform the self-chosen goal congruent behavior during this time. So let me break that down into English. If you devote 3 months consistently to on purpose forming habits, right, on purpose replacing valueless entertainment with things that add value, if you can stay consistent with it for 3 months, then you can form habits, and these habits can be strong and ingrained in you, and then you even change the way that you think. I'm telling you. So this whole process of changing what you consume becomes a whole lot easier if you identify valuable and monetizable skills that you are already highly interested in, or acquiring topics which you have interested in learning, and find resources that teach you about these things. Find things, for example, if you're interested in finance, follow Derek Moneyberg. Listen to all the things he has. He's funny. Same thing with Brandon Carter. Like all these guys, they talk exclusively about making money, but they will entertain you too. And when you flood your life, when you flood your brain with this kind of stuff, it's going to rub off on you. So once again, if you consistently make the habit of replacing mindless entertainment with these things, within 3 months, you will naturally be gravitated to more value-added things. And you will be surprised. how much of a subject matter expert you become on the things that you're consuming. You'll be surprised how much more competent you become, how you are able to know about subjects more than most other people around you. When you see an opportunity to make money, if you look at, business podcasts or business material, read business books, you'll see opportunities to make money everywhere. And then you crack the cheat code. That is the way. Now, there's a caveat, right? There are some exceptions to this rule, right? On rare occasions, you can enjoy mindless entertainment, right? So an example of this is if you're working on a productive task simultaneously while you're watching a football game, while you're watching, your favorite TV show, if while that's going, you have your iPad or computer in your hand, you're doing some work, you're making money moves, you're strategizing, you're planning, you're still being productive at the same time, you're not wasting time at that point because your time is still being used to add value or to create assets. So another example of when you can actually rarely consume mindless entertainment is if it's seldom, right? Like as a reward for an entire week of doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Then maybe on Sunday afternoon, you can sit, have a beer, watch a football game, but just one. Like think about it. 3 hours of time is a lot of time to spend towards anything. I don't personally watch football, but I do like me some MMA and kickboxing. So I will, enjoy a UFC or Glory kickboxing event. But even still doing that, unless I'm going to that event live, it is really hard for me to sit down at home and not have something else in my hand as I'm watching this. Not, be writing notes for another episode or looking at crypto, trading currency, or reading something that just helps me get better. So once again, if you're going to enjoy the mindless entertainment, rarely make it a reward for doing the right thing consistently over a long period of time and only on occasion. Or use that time to simultaneously add value to yourself. So some of you guys may think that this is harsh and it sounds extreme, but I want you to listen to me. I want you to hear me out. If you do what's normal, you can expect above normal results. If you live an ordinary life, expect ordinary results. But if you go to lengths that are extraordinary, if you do what no one else is doing, then you're going to get to live like no one else is living. If you put forth extraordinary effort, you're going to get extraordinary results and an extraordinary life. So if you are not content with working hard, with changing your mindset, if this bothers you, if this is something you don't think you can do, my advice for you is be happy staying average. Stay average, live the same life that everyone else is living, and don't expect above average results. But if you really, really want to be above average, if you want more out of your life than the average person is able to get, then you have to put forth more effort than the average person is willing to do. So, another thing you can do to add value to yourself every day, to seek value, is to squeeze value content into everything. So this means commutes, gym workouts, if you have a mundane 9-to-5 job where you're just sitting at a desk, you can have headphones in. These are all prime time opportunities to self-download value-added content and education, right? So most people, if they actually are serious about working out, which I'm hoping that if you watch this channel, you should be serious about getting in shape, because that's something that I talk about all the time. You got to be dangerous. But if you're a person who has a very active gym life, you may spend 4 or 5 hours a week in the gym. All that can be time. Put your headphones in, listen to content, listen to educational stuff, listen to value-added podcasts, and learn. Become a better person. And I know this may be boring at first, but intentionally replacing the vast majority of gym, commute time, maybe if you're at work and, as I said, can sit at a desk and listen to headphones while you're doing your work. If you replace the majority of that time with value-added content, your life is going to change. You won't be able to avoid the tremendous effects of increasing value to your life. You'll be smarter about everything. Remember how I said one of the ways you can attract women is just by being smart, right? You can talk to anybody about anything. They will see you as a leader. If you always have the answer, if you always know a little bit about everything, a girl will see you as the guy that can fix all of her problems and sweep her off of her feet. She'll respect you as such. And what your value is what you know, right? You can get a job as a supervisor or a job as a ground laborer, literally depending on what you know and what your qualifications are. So why not add value to yourself, right? I know it may be difficult to, instead of, listening to music in the car or in the gym, trying on purpose to listen to things that are going to educate you. I know that may be difficult, but as I said, if you want extraordinary results, you have to put forth extraordinary effort. And then, as I said, your mind will change after a while of what you actually like, right? Consistency will breed good habits. So on that note, there is so much free education out here on virtually every topic that, like, in a single year of doing this, of squeezing in value to everything you can, every year of doing this, you can probably get a bachelor's degree worth. You can probably get a bachelor's degree worth of education on anything, because you're constantly flooding your brain with things that add value. And then you'll start knowing exactly what people are going to say in these podcasts or in these books or in these shows before they even say it. You'll understand patterns, and you will, as I said, become a subject matter expert. You don't need to go to college to be successful. I know that sounds very counterintuitive what you've been told, but there is so much free knowledge, free value that you can learn anything out here with YouTube, with Spotify, with books. There's no reason to be dumb in an era that is known as the era of information. Like, no reason at all. So, on top of this, another crucial thing that you all need to do is read books. So, remember I said the best way to be like the rich is to emulate their actions. Reading books can be absolutely life-changing. If you want to be rich, do what the rich do. The rich are constantly looking for ways to learn more about their craft and to add value to themselves. Right? A study from Business Insider said this, that 85% of millionaires and billionaires read 2 or more books a month for education and learning purposes. 63% of them listen to educational audiobooks during their commutes to work. Literally what I was talking about, guys. See, I'm not full of it. I know what I'm talking about. 88% of millionaires and billionaires read 30 minutes or more each day for the purposes of education and learning. 58% read biographies of famous, successful people. So even the rich are trying to get better by emulating those who have been successful in their sphere. So, set your goal for reading 2 books a month and watch how your life changes. Set your goal for 2 books a month. And I know it may seem like difficult if you have a crazy schedule, but listen, you don't even have to sit down to read. Audiobooks are everywhere. The majority of books that I recommend people to read, you can find an audiobook version on YouTube and just listen to it in the car at 1.75 speed. And studies have shown that actually by listening to it like that, you can retain as much as sitting and reading it. Because, let's be honest, if you're truly doing all the things that I tell you to do throughout this whole podcast, to get your life up, to get ripped, to get rich, to get in shape, to get ladies, if you're becoming a high-value man, you won't have time to just sit and read. So this is how I get through books. I can get through 2 of them a week like this instead of 2 of them a month. But I'm just asking you to do 2 a month. If you can start there, you can do what the majority of the rich are doing. And you can be like the rich by doing what they do. Here's some life-changing books that I think every young man who wants to be successful should read before he goes out on his own and on his journey. Or if you're already a man that's out on your own journey and you want to change your life, these are books that you need to read as soon as possible that will absolutely change your life. Right? These books changed my life and how I see money and how I see people and how I see the mindset of life and how I understand how money moves, and that money isn't just, something that we have to earn, something that we have to work to get. Wealth is something that we can create, because that's when you really escape the matrix, when you learn to create wealth rather than just work for it. And these books will show you how to think, how to move, how to put in the work to get there, and how to understand your own psychology so that you can be a killer and make money and be successful and have all the things that you want in life. So these books are going to be Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, and Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, all by Robert Kiyosaki. Game changers. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. This one has been the single most life-changing book this year for me. I read it at the very beginning of this year, and my mindset towards everything, the work ethic and the tenacity I'm willing to put into everything that I encounter has all been changed for the better. 10X Rule is definitely one that I recommend. Think and Grow Rich. It's an old book, but it has wisdom, like classic wisdom, that pretty much every millionaire that I've met has all said that they've read this book. And there's a lot that I got out of it. So Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One of the more recent books that I read was The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco, which this basically just going to tell you, hey, like the path to wealth is not a 50-year path. It doesn't have to be. There's ways to create wealth explosively, quickly, and there's certain strategies that you need to employ to make that happen. Millionaire Fast Lane will teach you that. 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene will teach you how to have power and influence over every social sphere that you end up in, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, whether it's friends. You can be the dominant one that everyone sees as a leader without you even having to say it. Just by your body language, your ways of interacting with people. 48 Laws of Power will help you become the G, the Dom, the boss in everything that you do. Sun Tzu's Art of War, right? I know this is about like bashing in heads with swords and stuff, ancient Chinese warfare, but there's so much that can apply to human nature, human behavior, to leadership, to business. These strategies are still being studied today, thousands of years later. And then finally, the Bible. Yes, the Bible. Listen, this is 6,000 years worth of time-tested wisdom over the nature of humans and the keys to wisdom and prosperity. And even those who say that they don't believe the Bible, if you really look and you really read it, everything that it says about human nature is completely true. You cannot leave the Bible having read it with open eyes and open ears and say that it does not apply to today and to the modern world. So, third thing that you can do, the third thing that I really am stressing that you guys can do to add value to your life and seek value in everything, to build the habits of a high-value man, is to limit the number of value-subtracting people in your life. So this means changing your social circles. This means being okay without having a social circle. I want you to understand that in your grinding years of building yourself into a high-value man, solitude is absolutely okay. It is absolutely okay because you're on a path that not many want to take. You're on a path that few choose to embark on. Everyone wants to be rich, but why do you think that it's only the top 10% and less of people that end up making it? Because they're willing to put forth more effort than the majority of people. This is the single defining factor of a high-value, successful man, and everyone else is just the willingness to do what it takes to get there and not be dissuaded. So if you're okay in the grinding, eating crap phase of your life, where you're just, you're working 16-hour days, you are living in an apartment to save money and have more money to invest, you are always doing things to build, to move forward, it's okay to have solitude in this time. And it's actually better to be alone than it is to have people who subtract value from you. So complacency and loss of forward momentum becomes easy when everyone around you is a loser. If you're going to have a social circle in this building, grinding phase of life, trying to get to the top, trying to become a high-value man, you need to make sure that all the people around you are killers with the same mindset that you have. You need to surround yourself by killers, people that want the same things that you want, people that are going the same places that you want, people that do not settle for mediocrity, people that are willing to put forth all of the work that you're doing. These are the ones that you want around you, right? These people are important to have around because they will constantly challenge you to be better, and they will insult and shame you for your inadequacy and for weakness. You need that. I'm telling you, competition is going to give you an edge like very few things can. Have men around you that are doing the same things or have done even more that will literally say, hey, dude, stop being lazy. You're a piece of crap. You're slacking. What, are you a pussy? You need people that'll tell you that to get you in line, to keep you competitive and keep you sharp. So, in the words of Cobra Tate, once again, free the Tates. In the words of Andrew Tate, this is one of his quotes. He said, sometimes it is beneficial for people to be reminded of their inferiority by their superiors. I know that sounds harsh, but think about it. Challenge and competition are motivators to be better. And if you are slacking, if someone is ahead of you in life and they see that you're not trying to continue going, their shame, they're reminding you of your inferiority might be that fire under your butt to get and go where you need to be. So we've heard of the old adage, a man is the sum of the 5 people he spends the most time with. With that being said, I can speak about me personally. I'm so busy on my grind. I'm so busy trying to build a life, trying to make this money, trying to be something in the future and build a foundation for life. I'm so busy doing all of that I don't really have a whole lot of time to devote to creating a social life. But what I am surrounded by, the voices of people that I am surrounded by are those people that I listen to. Patrick Bet-David, Justin Waller, Andrew Tate, people like that. I hear their voice probably more than anyone else's voice in my life. So it is like me being surrounded by them. So if those are the people, if those are the killers that I'm surrounded by, if those are the people who are constantly influencing me, and the phrase says, a man is the sum of the 5 people he spends the most time with, what does that mean that I'm going to become? What does that mean that you can become if you seek a group of value-added people, if you seek value-added content to flood your brain and educate yourself, if you change your habits into seeking value, what does that mean that you're going to become? The sky is the limit and the world is yours. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching the MDmedic Podcast. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. The like is the most important metric that YouTube uses to get things out in the algorithm. We're out here doing God's work, gentlemen. We're trying to save men from being simps, from being out of shape, from being miserable, from being broke. We're trying to allow men to get the life that they want. Thank you so much. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook at MDmedic Podcast. MDmedic Podcast out.